Growing up in a super small town in rural Arkansas meant that if you were different at all, people noticed. And I was different. Hi, my name is Ashley, and this is the story of how my biggest burden became my superpower, and then my burden again. Ever since I was a toddler, I had a hearing impairment that forced me to wear this really awkward device over my left ear. My parents told me I could never take it out, that it would be dangerous if I did. And as I entered tweenhood, I really wanted to.
Paging Agent Ashley, do you copy?
Molly, the class clown, was also the class bully. She would come up and tap on my hearing device.
I said, Ashley, come in. We have a breach of security.
The class would laugh at her shameless harassment, and the teachers were afraid to stand up to her. They didn't want to get roasted after all. My home life wasn't much better. Mom and Dad were always fighting, and it always seemed like it was about me.
How was school today, honey? Is that horrible girl still making fun of you?
I was still too busy stabbing my peas with a fork to respond. I really wasn't in the mood.
Ashley, I said how was school? Did you hear me?
Of course she heard you. She can hear. She's just in one of her moods.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to connect with our daughter.
Well, maybe you should give her some space. All your suffocating isn't helping.
Ugh! I wish I couldn't hear you both! I yanked the device out of my ear for the first time ever and was met with a piercing, ringing sound that I can only imagine feels like what a dog hears when someone blows a dog whistle.
Honey, no!
Mom and Dad rushed over and shoved the device back in my ear. I nearly passed out from the pain of the noise. When I came to, I was in shock. What was that?
That's what happens when you don't listen to us. That device is there to protect you. Don't try that again.
Protect me from what, though? Hearing loss? Something felt off, but I didn't dare remove the device again.
I didn't have many friends, but my parents got me this harmonica bottle. Despite my hearing issues, blowing into the harmonica cap and playing a tune with every sip brought me joy. I know it's a small thing, but isn't life all about the little moments that make us happy? Check out the link in the description.
When I got to high school, Mom forced me to join an extracurricular in the hopes I would make friends. So I joined the soccer team, the only sport I was remotely good at. But I didn't realize Molly was on the team. She would tease me for any mistakes I made.
Hey, Trashly, can you turn off your music and focus on scoring a single goal?
During our penultimate season game against our biggest rival, I was so scared that I would mess up and Molly would never let me hear the end of it. We were a point away from winning. The defense was tight. I had no idea Molly was planning to pass me the ball.
Ashley, get open!
She kicked the ball midair, and I tried to chest bump it, but instead, I fell flat on my chest, losing us the game.
I thought that thing was supposed to help you here.
I couldn't take it anymore. I stood up and kicked the soccer ball straight to her head. I heard you loud and clear. Bam! The soccer ball hit her smack in the face. Fuming, she charged at me. She tackled me to the ground, and then I felt her yanking on my hearing device.
Give me that thing!
Stop! Don't! Help! I need help! But before anyone could save me, she pulled out the device and chucked it across the field. That brutal, painful ringing started reverberating again. It sent shockwaves through my head and my body. I fell to my knees and screamed in agony. And then, silence. Total, utter silence. I opened my eyes, stunned by the scene in front of me. No one was moving. Everyone was frozen in place. The ref had his hand around Molly's wrist, trying to restrain her. But why was no one moving? Hello? Guys? Guys? What is happening? The thing is, I could hear myself screaming, perfectly clear, even without the hearing aid. I scanned the field for my device and found it in the goalpost. I fashioned it back into my ear and was met with that piercing ringing again. But this time, when I opened my eyes, everyone was moving again. Molly was being apprehended by the ref, getting dragged off the field. And hovering above me was a boy my age from the opposing team. I thought he was going to say something snarky, but instead he offered me his hand.
I'm sorry that happened to you. Oh, weird. Looks like you got your device back. Huh. Anyway, I know what it's like to be bullied. I'm Jasper, by the way.
He had these really weird-looking sunglasses secured to his head with a metal wire.
I can't take them off, or something about the sun. I don't know. Just stay strong and don't let it get to you. What they see as your biggest weakness could be your biggest strength.
My biggest strength? Okay, there was totally something my parents weren't telling me. I mean, I don't want to jump to conclusions, but something connected to the device seemed to stop time. When I got home, I thought about telling my parents what I had experienced, but I had no idea how they'd react, and I wanted to be sure first. So, I did a little experiment at dinner.
Your coach called. Apparently you got into a little tussle with that girl Molly. I'm going to call her mother. Enough is enough.
Oh, come on. You think that's what Ashley needs? Her mother interfering? Like that's gonna make school easier for her?
Would you rather she get tormented every day?
I rushed away from the dinner table and locked myself in the bathroom. I couldn't listen to them bicker anymore. I yanked out my earpiece, ready to face that dreadful ringing. When it was over and I opened my eyes, all was silent. The shrill sound of my parents screaming was gone. I was nervous to go back to the kitchen, a million thoughts running through my head. But when I arrived at the dinner table, my parents were right where I left them. My mom's fork waving at Dad, spaghetti sauce all over Dad's face. Then I realized I couldn't hear the traffic outside, or the baby next door crying, or the wind. I stepped outside to find that I had frozen the entire neighborhood. What if I had caused a catastrophe? I needed to get to the lookout in town to see how far my, quirk extended. My neighbor was frozen on his bicycle and I needed transportation. I snapped a photo of him with my phone so I could put him right back where I found him. Then I picked him up and set him gently on the sidewalk. I hopped on his bike and pedaled to the overlook where I could see all the way out to the water. I looked out onto the horizon, desperately searching for any sign of movement. The river didn't even look like it was flowing. But then I spotted something. A fisherman waiting in the water, reeling his fishing rod. Whew. I didn't know if I could handle the responsibility of freezing the entire world. I needed to get home and search for answers. But as I turned around, I noticed a row of cars parked. I peered through the windows and saw my classmates making out. Well, frozen mid-makeout. I thought the makeout spot was a total myth. The last thing I needed right now was another reminder of how abnormal I was. I'd never kissed anyone. Then, in one of the cars, I saw a familiar mop of blonde hair against one of the windows. It was Molly, and in the passenger seat was Jasper. What the heck? I had no idea they even knew each other. The guy who saved me from my bully looked like he was mid-arguing with her. Were they dating? Breaking up? I was suddenly filled with rage. I had to do something. I saw a lizard on the ground, picked it up, and dumped it into the crack in the window onto her lap. Then I hid behind a tree, put my hearing device back in, and watched her totally freak out. Ah! She jumped out of the car, frantic. Ew, ew, ew! I couldn't help but laugh to myself. I suddenly felt powerful. This wasn't a quirk. It was a strength. Oh shoot, totally forgot to return the bike. I sped home, leaving the bike right where I found it. When I got home, my parents were livid.
Where were you? We were terrified. We didn't even hear you leave.
Sweetie, it's fine. She's home now. You don't have to hover so much.
I just went for a bike ride to clear my head, to get away from your arguing. I locked myself in my room, wishing there was a way I could use my powers to make my parents get along. I thought maybe I could, by becoming the social, well-adjusted daughter they'd always wanted. So, I started scheming. First, I would stop time so I could make friends. While I was at my locker, I overheard some cool alternative girls talking about a birthday celebration.
The party was fun, but no one got me the electronic baby doll I've wanted since I was a kid. I know I'm grown now, but I've been talking about it forever. It's like my dream gift.
I took my earpiece out, suffered through the familiar pain, and sprang into action. I dashed out of school, biked to the nearest toy store, and hunted down the electronic baby doll. Taking a deep breath, I put my earpiece back in, walked up to the group, and smiled. Hey, Bryn! I know yesterday was your birthday, and I saw the general invite. I couldn't make it, but here's a little something for you.
Oh my god, no way! An electronic baby doll?
Yep, she pees and poos.
Exactly what I wanted. You're amazing. Give me a hug, dude.
I invited Bryn and her crew over to watch a movie, and I could hear Mom and Dad talking about me from the other room.
I'm so relieved she's finally made friends.
Now, if only she could get her grades up.
Sure thing, Dad.
Okay, time's up. Ashley, walk me through the problem.
I was notoriously horrible at algebra, so I thought I'd buy myself some time. The problem? Well, that's easy. I took my earpiece out, time froze, and then I casually walked over to the smartest girl in the room's desk and copied her notes. I walked back to my seat, put my earpiece back in, and to isolate the variable, first, subtract 5 from both sides of the equation, simplifying 2x plus 5 minus 5 equals 15 minus 5 to 2x equals 10.
Oh, great work.
She's cheating!
Uh-oh, did Molly somehow see me?
Someone's feeding her answers through her earpiece.
Nope, still just bullying me. But I had an idea for revenge. At our final season-ending soccer game, as Molly was winding up to kick the ball for an easy goal, I froze time. She was halted mid-kick. Then I moved the ball slightly to the right. When I unfroze and she kicked, yeah! She fell straight onto her butt, missing the ball completely. Her face turned beet red. Might want to check your eyesight.
I swear I had that!
And even though it was causing me immense pain to keep freezing time, it was worth it just to see Molly's face when I froze the field, moved the goalpost over ever so slightly, pivoted the goalie, unfroze time, and scored the winning goal. The crowd went wild. All of my teammates lifted me up in celebration, while Molly was pouting off to the side. And after the excitement settled, I saw Jasper making his way toward me.
Wow, amazing performance.
I didn't know you'd be here.
Yeah, my best friend plays on the other team. Hopefully he'll forgive me for talking to the enemy. Hey, do you want to hang out later?
I blinked. Seriously? From the corner of my eye, I saw Molly staring daggers at us. You're not dating her?
Molly? Ha! No, I'm not dating Molly.
I hesitated. I saw...
What? What did you see?
Never mind. There was an awkward pause, and I needed to do something. So I grabbed my harmonica bottle and took a sip. Then, without thinking, I blew into the cap. A loud, unexpected whistle echoed through the field. Jasper jumped.
Did your water bottle just make a sound?
For some reason, I decided to play along, acting just as surprised as him. Maybe I wanted to share the excitement, or maybe I was just really nervous. I blinked down at it, then tried again. A perfect little tune played from the cap. No way! Jasper grinned.
Okay, that's actually awesome. Where do you even find something like that?
It was a gift, but you can totally get one too. Amazon links in the description. Jasper shook his head, amused.
All right. So, is that a yes?
Yes!
Awesome! I'll pick you up in an hour. We can go to the lookout point.
I nodded, still holding my harmonica bottle like it had just revealed a secret superpower. Because apparently, it kind of had. I think I visibly gulped. The lookout point? Could this be it? My first kiss? But I was getting ahead of myself. First, I had to finish my take-home algebra test. There was no way I could do it in an hour. So I improvised a little. The janitor had the master key to every room in the school. So when I saw him in the hallways, I just casually froze time and unclasped the keys from his belt. But this time, the pain in my ear was really bad. I had to act quick. I unlocked the teacher's office, carefully searching for the test results, making sure not to move things too badly. Finally, I found it. But just as I was taking photos of the answers, my ears started ringing piercingly loud. I collapsed onto the desk, trying to withstand the pain. But I accidentally knocked the teacher's mug over, spilling old coffee all over the test. I ran out of the office, locked the door, and clasped the keys back onto the janitor's belt before I fell again. Then I put my earpiece back in and fled the school before anyone saw me. I got home and waited for Jasper to pick me up. But he never showed. I'd been stood up. Go figure. Furious, I borrowed my neighbor's bike to the lookout, and there Jasper was, wearing his sunglasses at night, sitting on the ridge, desperately clasping Molly's hand.
Oh, hey, Jasper.
So, you stood me up for Molly? Awesome. Wait, are you guys in on this together? Trying to humiliate me?
Ashley, no! That's not what this is!
Then what is it? What are you really hiding behind your sunglasses? You said you were sensitive to the sun. Well, it's nighttime.
Leave us alone, freak.
Gah. I yanked my earpiece out when the coast was clear and pulled Jasper's sunglasses down from his face. But suddenly, I felt someone's hand grab my wrist. It was Jasper's. Startled, I quickly pushed his glasses back over his face. His hand fell limp. Had he unfrozen? Shoot. When I was safely down the hill, I unfroze everything. I'd almost given myself away today. I was getting too careless. I needed to know what was wrong with me before something disastrous happened. So that night, while my parents were sleeping, I sort of froze time to make sure they wouldn't wake up, and I did some digging. In my dad's office, I was shocked to find adoption papers from when I was 3 years old. I couldn't believe it. I only had more questions. The next morning, Mom stormed into my room, livid.
Ashley, the school said they caught you sneaking into your teacher's office. Someone spilled coffee on the test answers. What were you thinking?
I just wanted to do well in school so I didn't disappoint you and Dad.
Well, this is disappointing. I said you were putting too much pressure on her.
And your backseat parenting method is really working, huh?
Guys, stop! I know the truth. You can stop fighting.
What are you talking about?
That I was adopted? Did you know about my power? What happens when I take this out? My parents went silent, and I hadn't even stopped time. Guys!
It's, complicated. Why don't you sit down?
You did know! Seriously? Am I some sort of science experiment?
Honey.
Don't come near me. I couldn't even trust my own parents. I needed to know the truth. And it seemed only Jasper might have the answers. I ran out the front door when it occurred to me I had no idea where Jasper lived. Before I reached the end of the road, someone was flashing their headlights at me.
Honey, we'll explain. Just come home.
I started running faster and faster, with Mom tailing behind. Out of breath, I pulled my earpiece out. But amidst the chaos, I dropped it on the road, and then I heard a crunch. Mom's car had stopped, but my hearing device had been crushed. Underneath the front wheel of her car, it was completely destroyed. I desperately tried putting it back into my ear. Come on. But it wasn't working. Time wouldn't start up again. I had to find Jasper, fast. He wasn't at the lookout, so I went to Molly's house. She was sitting on her porch, crying. I pulled her phone out of her pocket and set it in front of her face to unlock it. There was about 20 missed calls from Jasper. I found his address in her contacts, grabbed my bike, and rushed over there. When I arrived at his house, I was stunned. It was basically a shed. I squeezed through the window to find Jasper alone on his couch, frozen in place as he was holding a photo of himself as a child, surrounded by a huge family. I ran to him and removed his glasses, and he unfroze.
Huh? Ashley, is that you? What are you doing here? What's going on?
I ran outside to see if anything was moving, but time was still frozen. Can you freeze time too?
Huh?
I grabbed his hand and took him outside to show him. Dead silence. Birds frozen in the sky. But Jasper didn't seem surprised.
Oh, wow. I had a feeling you had it too. I haven't met anyone with...
What? What's happening? Why did you stand me up for Molly? Does she know?
Ashley, I am so sorry. I didn't stand you up. I was scared. Molly is just a former friend who's been making me do stuff for her since she found out about my secret. But it's little stuff, harmless, like making her prom queen and voted most lovable in the middle school yearbook. Basically, buying her popularity.
What was happening the night I saw you on the bench?
I was pleading with her not to spill my secret. I said I didn't want to help her cheat or hack into her ex's phone and sabotage him. You were born October 4th, right?
Yeah?
Me too. and a handful of others. Anyone in that nursery that day was exposed to some weird chemical that gave us this power to freeze time. These glasses prevent that. Your hearing aid. When my parents found out, they used me. They threatened to expose me, take me to the government or whatever if I didn't do what they asked. I helped them steal and cheat people and get rich. I don't want to hurt anyone, but it seems everyone keeps hurting me.
I get that. My parents never even told me I was adopted, and I had to find out about my power on my own. They told me I had hearing issues.
It sounds like they were just trying to protect you. I ran away when I was 14, and I have been on my own ever since. It's been excruciating being alone, but now I found you.
Jasper was right. My parents were probably just trying to protect me from the world. It's what they must have been fighting about all this time. I need to save my parents. How do we reverse this?
Now that we know the truth about each other, we don't have to. We can get out of this town now. Wherever we are, we'll have the power. And once we are far enough, the town and your parents will unfreeze and go back to normal.
It didn't sound half bad, but I couldn't just run from my problems forever. No, I'm sick of manipulating things. Making you like me because I cheated at soccer, making friends because they think I have cool interests, taking shortcuts. It's all a lie.
I don't like you because you won at soccer. I like you because you have a pure, genuine heart. I felt I could trust you the moment I met you.
If that's true, then help me, please. We have to start time again without running away. And these powers, they need to end. I saw him turn away from me. He looked conflicted.
There is a way. My parents made me freeze time and steal a master device from the lab where your hearing device and my glasses were made. They just wanted as much control over my power as they could have. I took it with me when I ran away from home. Activating the master device will restart time, but it will overpower our devices, making them useless, which means I'll lose my powers. Then I'd just be normal.
Jasper, there's nothing normal about you. If our powers were in the wrong hands, imagine. But we got them, and it led us to each other. Isn't that enough? Jasper didn't seem so sure, so I did it. I faced my fears, leaned in, and kissed him. And it was super awkward. We both chuckled. See, doesn't it feel nice to be generic? We're just like every other awkward teenager. He kissed me back. And this time, it felt anything but normal. It was magical.
Not so normal, huh? Okay, Ashley. Just promise me we can face this world together.
No matter what.
There's just one thing I think we should do first.
Together, we snuck into the school and tied up some loose ends. Then, Jasper took out the master device and activated it. Suddenly, things started to move slowly again. He dropped it to the ground and stomped on it, then threw his glasses on the ground and stepped on them too. I joined him till we smashed them to bits, and everything around us was in motion as usual. Oh, thank goodness. When I got home, my parents were sitting at the kitchen table holding hands.
Honey! Oh my gosh, I'm so happy you're safe. This is all your fault, Joe. If you hadn't...
Stop! Stop blaming each other. I know everything. I know you've both been arguing about how to keep me safe. I just want to know, how come you adopted me?
Your birth mom gave you up for adoption when she found out you were different. She was scared. We were competing with another family, a corrupt family, to adopt you so we could protect you.
Shoot. Tears were welling up in my eyes. The best way you can protect me is by being nice to each other.
We just have different ideas about what's best.
And at the end of the day, I appreciate it. I was lucky to be raised by both of you, but I've decided what's best for myself. I saw my parents link arms in anticipation. I destroyed my earpiece.
You what?
I just want to be normal, with all the pain and beauty that comes with it. My parents clasped hands. I thought they'd be pissed, but instead, they scooped me into a hug.
That makes me so happy to hear.
Me too.
For the first time, it felt like we were all united. Shortly after, Jasper and I started to date. And even though we couldn't freeze time, it seriously felt like time was frozen whenever I'd look into his eyes. I know, so sappy. Don't worry, my mischievous spirit didn't die overnight. That sneaking into the school charade we pulled before smashing his glasses?
This year's homecoming queen is Ashley!
What? Jasper?
When your favorite Olive Garden dish went away, you had thoughts, lots of thoughts. So, to help solve your existential crisis, we're bringing back our steak gorgonzola Alfredo. And thanks to your excessive use of exclamation marks, stuffed chicken marsalla's back too. Plus, now you can daydream about manicotti while eating manicotti. Here for a limited time only, starting at $12.99. Fan favorites, back at Olive Garden.
Eat sold separately.
All right, we got your home and auto bundled, and you saved hundreds.
Oh, that's nice with the economy and all.
Ooh.
What's the economy?
Where do we start?
What isn't the economy?
Yes.
Right.
It's so many things.
Right.
Look, all you really need to know is that Progressive can save you money without sacrificing quality coverage. You follow?
I'll just look it up.
That went well.
In the neighborhood, every delivery is a treat.
One pistachio for you, sir.
One strawberry poof, please.
Oh, enjoy it.
Oh, perfect.
By waiver. Something minty? Of course, it's a large. A double. Lucky.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
We're filming a commercial. Mr. Beast Lab Swarms has gone atomic. We've created a new collection of the craziest swarms you've ever seen. Just mix them, shake them, and create your micro beasts. You can collect them all. Mr. Beast Lab's Atomic Swarm, each sold separately.
Hi, I'm Nova, and my life sucks. I used to think I was just unlucky, but thank God I later discovered it was a full-blown family curse. No, seriously. I grew up with a twin brother, Dorian, who was 2 steps ahead in everything. For starters, everyone thought he was the much better-looking twin. He'd play video games all the time and ace his tests, while I'd stay up all night studying, and my grades were still average. He was good at sports, I was just clumsy. Even our parents favored Dorian, especially Dad, who dreamt of making him a football legend. In 8th grade, I tried out for the small school talent showcase, just a silly cheer routine I made up on my own. I asked everyone to come, but that same day, Dorian had his big football practice match, and guess where everyone went? Yep, including my parents. What's going on?
Your brother scored the winning goal at his big match, so we called all his friends over to celebrate.
So you missed my talent show for a dumb match?
You participated in a talent show? Why? You're so uncoordinated. Just last week you tripped over a sock and hurt your head.
Thanks, but I don't need your judgment.
I'm just saying, maybe next time choose something you're good at. Oh wait, you can't. You're bad at everything.
Shut up or I'll kick your face. Ugh, so annoying. I ran upstairs fighting tears when I heard a soft voice calling from a bedroom down the hall.
Nova, is that you?
That's Ella. She's my younger sister, and she's been sick since forever. Doctors didn't even have a proper diagnosis, just a fancy name that meant they were still trying to figure out what was wrong with her. And since our parents were too busy making Dorian a star, it was usually left to me to look after Ella, which I didn't mind at all.
Hey, how was your talent show? What did Mom and Dad say?
They never came because Mighty Dorian had a match.
So what? Did you have fun?
I almost did a backflip and only tripped twice, so yeah, it was fun.
Then that's all that matters.
Talking to Ella always made me feel better, but I could never tell her how I really felt. My problems just seemed so pathetic compared to everything she was going through. Even at school, I mostly kept to myself while Dorian hogged the spotlight. The only time people spoke to me was to ask for Dorian's number, so I barely had friends until I met Maya in high school. She was new and asked me if I could show her around, and we hit it off right away. We liked the same music, same shows, and I finally had someone I could pour my heart out to. She was the only person I felt free and happy with, but that changed on her 18th birthday. Maya decided to throw a costume party. I was gonna be French fries, and she was gonna be ketchup. It was gonna be epic. But when I got to her place, I was the only one in a costume. I checked my phone wondering if I'd missed a text from Maya, but nothing. And worse, I found her standing near the pool talking to Dorian.
Oh, wow. Looks like someone didn't get the memo.
What is he doing here? And wasn't this supposed to be a costume party?
Oh, shoot. I thought I texted you. I wanted to have a costume party, but Dorian thought it was stupid for an 18th birthday.
And since when did you start taking advice from Dorian?
Since we started dating.
What?
He asked me out last week, and I said yes.
Why? Of all the men on the planet, why him? And you couldn't stand that there was finally someone who liked me more than you, could you?
Would you stop overreacting? You look like angry McDonald's French fries, and I can't take you seriously. Also, my feelings for Maya are totally genuine.
Genuine my butt. Everyone at school knows you change girlfriends faster than you change underwear. Maya, listen to me. Whatever garbage this guy's been feeding you, it's not worth it.
But I love him.
No, you're infatuated. Like every normal girl your age is with some butthead like him. Come back to your senses. Fine, I can see this is a total waste of time. So before I embarrass myself any further, I'm leaving, and we're done. I stormed off dramatically, only to walk straight into the birthday banner. I tried to fight it, but stumbled and knocked over an entire balloon arch. Maya ran to help me, but I spun around mid-fight and accidentally slapped her in the face.
Did you just hit my girlfriend?
I grabbed a paper cup and hurled it at Dorian's head.
Ow. Wow, that really hurt me, Nova. How will I ever recover from this concussion?
Everyone laughed as I ripped the last streamer off my leg and stormed out, and went straight to Ella. She was the only person who'd understand me.
Oh, wow. You look tasty.
I don't know about tasty, but I am definitely tragic.
Mom never let me have fries. Said they're too oily.
Here, take a bite. It might cheer you up.
You're weird.
And you're stuck with me. And I put my head down, and we dozed off. The next morning, I woke up to a bunch of missed calls from Maya, but I ignored them. So she sent me a bouquet with my favorite ice cream scoops, flew drones past my window with "I'm sorry" banners. At one point, she actually climbed up to my window to talk to me, but I just drew the curtains and ran into the attic so she wouldn't find me. I was looking for some boxes to hide behind when I accidentally knocked one over and a diary fell out. It had my grandmother's name on it, with a photograph of her standing next to someone who looked exactly like her. And there was a note. Lumiere se dara kinsol, veher dul ambrax? What? That's what it said, written in this bizarre language I've never seen before. Luckily, someone had scribbled a translation underneath. To break the curse, balance must be found. One light shall rise, one shadow bound. I read more and found out that my grandma had been overshadowed by her own twin too. So she teamed with a psychic named Margot and crafted spells to break the twin curse, a generational cycle where one twin always thrived while the other faded into the background. I knew it sounded ridiculous, but this just couldn't be a coincidence. I was constantly lagging behind Dorian, not because there was something wrong with me, but because I was cursed. The note also said that to unlock the curse, like and subscribe to this video and leave a comment. Gotcha, she didn't write that. But seriously, like and subscribe. Things are about to get weird. I had to find out more, so the next day I skipped school and tracked down the psychic Margot. It wasn't too difficult since Grandma had her address in the diary, and by afternoon I was already knocking at the door of a rundown apartment. I waited for some old witchy lady to open the door, but instead it was a girl not much older than me. Sorry, I think I must have gotten the wrong address.
No, you're in the right place. We've been expecting you. Like me and the spirits. They told me you were coming. You're Nova, right? Hilda's granddaughter.
You know me?
I know a lot of things. Like it's gonna rain in about 5 seconds and you should come in.
And right on cue, it actually started raining. Freaky. Anyway, I walked in and the girl told me she was Margot's granddaughter and her name was Coco Lin.
My dad's Chinese and my mom's American. They couldn't decide whether to give me a Chinese name or an English one, so they mashed them together. Kinda has a ring to it if you say it on repeat. Coco Lin, Coco Lin, Coco Lin. Cool, right? I think it's very cool. Like, it's also pretty cool that I'm my grandma's reincarnation. I've retained some of her memories and her power to see the future, talk to ghosts, and read your star chart, yada yada. In fact, before I was my grandma, I was this super rich woman who went on a ship, met this cute artist. He was poor. I was loaded. We fell in love, but then the ship crashed and he died.
Like the movie Titanic?
What?
Never mind. Can we just get to work, please? I gave her the diary, and she invited me into this small room. As I settled into a beanbag, Coco Lin took the diary in her hands. Then suddenly, she threw her head back dramatically. Before I could ask if she was okay, she snapped her head forward like a possessed owl, then started spinning in slow circles. Then she dropped to her knees, flapped forward, and after a full minute of silence, popped back up.
All done. The curse is now reversed. Whatever once belonged to your brother is now yours.
Wait, what do you mean by reversed? I wanted you to end the curse.
Yeah, well, unfortunately for that, you'd have to find the original witch who cast the curse on your family. And she's probably dead. So unless you have a shovel and a time machine, this is the best I could do. Now remember, every spell has its repercussions, so just be aware of potential side effects.
What kind of side effects?
Mild nausea, headaches, nosebleeds, and in rare cases, hallucinations. It depends.
On what?
On how badly cursed you are. Just kidding. I fixed the curse, remember? You'll be fine. Would you like some tea?
But I just thanked her, paid her fee, and got out of there as fast as I could. The whole way home, I kept thinking if what I'd done was wrong. But was it really that bad if Dorian suffered a little? Also, Coco Lin was kind of a weirdo, so I wasn't too sure if her chaotic head Roomba fixed anything. But boy, was I wrong. I looked around and I froze. This wasn't my room. It was bigger, with velvet curtains, a chandelier, and a full-length mirror. I jumped out of my bed and pulled the curtains, only to see a massive, perfectly manicured garden with fountains and a freaking swan. Why am I in this place? How did I get here? I checked my phone. It showed the same date as yesterday. Okay, this is clearly a dream. Ow! Ow! I pinched myself hard, and seconds later, Mom burst into the room.
Oh my god, Nova! Why did you scream like that? I thought some stalker tried to jump into your room again.
Again? When was the first time it happened?
Oh, my poor baby. You've been so traumatized lately, you've probably blocked out everything. It's fine, we can talk about it later. For now, drink your kale. You're already late for gym, and Coach gets cranky when you're not warmed up before cheer practice.
Mom, I don't do cheer practice. I barely passed PE. This isn't real. I rushed outside to find Ella's room. She might have answers. But the house was so huge, I had no idea which room was hers and accidentally entered Dorian's.
What are you doing in my room?
Shut up and tell me what's happening. Are you trying to pull some elaborate joke on me? Who even owns this house? One of your weird rich friends?
What are you rambling on about? I'm just living my perfectly miserable life in silence, and you won't let me have that?
If your life is miserable, I might as well be an earthworm.
You know, I saw this documentary about teen celebrities and how they all went bonkers at age 18. You should watch it. I think you'll fit right in.
You think this is funny? God, just tell me where Ella is and I'll leave.
Same place she's always been. Why? Suddenly remembered you have a sick sister who needs your attention?
I've always cared about Ella.
You don't care about anyone else but yourself, Nova. Now get out and go sign some stupid autographs.
I was shocked. The way Dorian was talking and everything Mom said could only mean one of two things. Either everyone in my family had lost their minds, or the spell actually worked and transported me to my new reality where I was the golden child. I ran back to my room and opened my closet to find shoes and clothes that I could never afford. Downstairs, Mom was smiling like I was the best thing that ever happened to her, while Dorian sat quietly on the side, scowling. Then I went to school, and the moment I got out of the car, people flocked around me.
Hi, Nova. Love your outfit. Can we get a selfie? Are you coming to my birthday next week? You can cut the cake if you want to.
It was like stepping into a dream where I finally mattered and wasn't invisible next to Dorian. I was still processing everything when Stacy walked over and linked her arm through mine.
There you are, bestie. I've been trying to call you.
Really? I didn't get any calls.
I said I was trying, but then I got busy with these new cheer uniforms. Everyone's obsessed with pink, but what do you think?
I actually kind of like blue. But clearly everyone else wants pink, so let's go with pink.
Oh, I knew you'd say that. We're so in sync. If you were a boy, I'd totally date you. I mean, you'd have competition, obviously, but I'd cheat on my boyfriend with you.
Okay, wow. I was best friends with Stacy? This girl who once insulted me in front of the whole school was now asking for my opinions? And over the next few days, it only got better. I had a personal stylist, a manager, and spa appointments booked every other morning. My closet had its own air conditioning, and Dorian had to ask my permission to even borrow a charger. My parents transformed into my biggest fans overnight, hovering at every photo shoot, attending even the smallest events, and proudly displaying an entire wall of my trophies and awards. At school, I never stood in line. I had my own table in the cafeteria stocked with fresh smoothies and sushi rolls. Teachers gave me extra credit just for showing up. And one afternoon, I got a letter from a college I hadn't even applied to offering me a full scholarship because they liked my vibe. My life was perfect, and it was everything I ever wanted. Until it wasn't. Because Stacy was as obnoxious as ever and was getting on my nerves.
Oh my God. Who died and left you that hideous skirt? And why are you carrying a Prada purse when I don't have one? You need to pay fashion tax.
What?
You know, do my homework, pack my lunch, clean my sneakers, that kind of thing. Now hurry up, I'm hungry.
The girl ran off in tears, and I turned to Stacy. Was that necessary?
No, but it's fun. And why are you being all judgy today? Did you forget the time you bullied that new girl, Maya? She was so terrified of you, she literally transferred schools.
I bullied her?
Every day. You made fun of how she dressed, the way she spoke, and then when your loser brothers started dating her, you totally snapped. My God, I'll never forget the tantrum Dorian threw when she left. I even have a video.
Stacy shoved her phone in my face, and I watched in shock. Dorian was having a full-on meltdown while I stood there laughing like a maniac. Seriously? What? And that wasn't even the worst part. The girls on my cheer team laughed and joked until I walked in. Everyone on my modeling team walked on eggshells around me. I even overheard this girl say that I should get an exorcism because I had a devil living inside of me. This one time during a shoot, my makeup artist accidentally dropped a brush. I reached down to pick it up and she recoiled like I was gonna hit her.
I'm so sorry. I'll get a new one immediately.
Hey, it's just a brush, don't worry about it.
You're not mad?
Why would I be mad about an accident? While the photographer was adjusting his camera, I overheard two assistants whispering.
She seems different today. Last week she threw hot coffee at me because I got her the wrong brand.
Remember when she made Tina cry because she accidentally walked into her photos? Poor girl's still in therapy.
It felt like I jumped from living under Dorian's shadow to being the most hated person on earth, and it was heartbreaking. But what truly got to me was that at home, Dorian barely looked my way, and Ella never came out of her room. And every time I tried to meet her, Mom would freak out.
Her disease is contagious, sweetie. You know that. I can't lose another daughter to that stupid illness.
I really wanted to see her and share what I was feeling, but I was too swamped with photo shoots, press events, and parties to process it.
Has anyone ever tried snail mucus coffee? Apparently, it's very good for your skin.
I'm already having my vitamin C, D, E, G, H, Y, Z, Q to keep my nails shiny and healthy.
You know what, guys? If you hang upside down for at least an hour and a half, you will get the reddest cheeks ever.
Or you could get a brain hemorrhage and die.
Excuse me?
I'll just be right back. Jeez, how lame were these conversations? If these people were the cream of society, I'd rather be skimmed milk. The rest of the night was just as bad. The music was too loud, the people were fake, the food looked fancy but tasted like chalk. Then my date asked me to dance, and I accidentally stepped on his foot so hard he started limping. I rushed to grab him a first aid kit and came back to find him making out with a waitress. Ew. I just wanted to leave. I was walking to my car when I spotted someone across the road. Maya was standing at a stall selling t-shirts. I dropped everything and sprinted toward her. Maya! Oh my God, how are you?
Leave or I swear I will call the police.
Look, I know you're really angry at me and I deserve it, but I swear I didn't mean to.
You didn't mean to ruin my life? Come on, Noah. You and I both know you bullied me because you're evil. But honestly, you did me a favor. That school wasn't for me anyway. The only good thing that happened there was meeting Dorian, and I'll always be grateful for that. But you, I never ever want to see again.
Please, Maya, I said I'm sorry. I'll do anything to make up to you. I'll buy all your t-shirts.
I don't need your charity, Nova. But if you really want to help me, then help me sell these. You're a professional model, right?
She pulled out a pile of tees with the most chaotic slogans I'd ever seen. This too shall pass, like a kidney stone. The only X I want is extra money. Nice. Who came up with these?
Of course I did. I've always been really creative.
That's true. By the end of the night, Maya and I had sold every single t-shirt in her stall. We even clicked a bunch of pictures, and when I shared them on my Instagram, Maya's business exploded overnight. She called me the next morning telling me how people were begging for restocks. Someone even asked if she shipped internationally. I'd finally used my popularity for something good, and I was happy. But that changed the moment I entered school the next day.
Why were you hanging out with peasant Maya yesterday? It's all over your Instagram feed.
I was just trying to help her sell her stuff and apologized for being completely moronic.
You did not! It's against every rule book ever written for mean girls. Once you bully someone, you never apologize to them. Especially not if they're as ugly as peasant Maya.
Stop calling her that. She's a brilliant and hardworking girl, and she's 10 times the person you'd ever be.
10 times fatter, sure. She's a real inspiration for stretchy t-shirts.
Say one more word about her and I swear.
Or what? You'll cry into your organic kale smoothie?
I have a better idea. And I launched myself at Stacy, but she didn't even budge. Instead, she smiled and punched me. Then she jumped on me, pulled my hair, elbowed me in the stomach, and I almost threw up. I thought I was gonna die when a bunch of girls rescued me. Later, while I sat outside the nurse's office with an ice pack on my face, I overheard a group of girls whispering nearby.
Wow, Nova really thought she could take down Stacy? That girl's made of iron.
I heard her mom's Russian. She came here illegally, then married some rich guy, and that's how Stacy got all her money.
My maid's cousin works at their house. She says Stacy lives like a trash gremlin. Her room smells like stale yogurt and wet socks.
Ugh, gross. Imagine strutting around like a queen bee while your closet is a health hazard. If I were Nova, I'd wash my hands with bleach just to get the smell off.
They kept going, but I tuned out. Not because I was offended. Honestly, it all made sense. Stacy didn't rule the school out of confidence. She did it to distract people from the disaster she actually was. Anyway, I was feeling better, so I decided to take the day off and go home, when suddenly Dorian came running down the hallway.
Nova, it's Ella. They're moving her to a hospital. Her condition's getting worse.
The world blurred for a second, and I pushed Stacy out of the way and ran through the gates. We reached the hospital and saw Mom and Dad were sitting in the waiting room. Where is she? What happened?
She took a turn for the worse. The doctors are doing everything they can.
I sat down slowly. Ella, my baby sister, my sunshine. She was the only person who ever believed in me, and she was suffering. I buried my face in my hands, and that's when Dorian snapped.
Is this all your fault?
Dorian, please.
No, Mom, she needs to know. I've been trying for months to act normal, but no more.
What are you talking about?
You were supposed to babysit Ella, but instead, you chose to sneak out and go to your dumb party with her in the back seat. You'd barely gotten the car out of the driveway when you crashed into another car. You blacked out and Ella took the hit. She's been in a coma ever since.
But Mom told me her condition was contagious. That's why I couldn't see her.
Well, she lied. Because you hurt your head too and forgot all about the accident. And Mom didn't tell you so you could live your perfect little life like the golden child you are. I swear, if something happens to her, I will never forgive you.
And he stormed away, leaving me totally shaken. I bullied my best friend. My brother couldn't even look at me. And my little sister was in a coma because of me. This wasn't the life I wanted. I stood up quietly while everyone was still talking to the doctor, slipped out of the hospital, and ran straight home. I stormed into the attic, flung open every box until I finally found the diary. The next morning, before going to the psychic's house, I went to the hospital. I just had to make sure Ella was okay. And thankfully, when I got there, she was sitting on her bed smiling. I stopped a doctor walking by. Is she okay?
Yeah, she had a seizure, but it shocked her system so hard, it jump-started her like an old car battery. Guess sometimes being on your deathbed has its perks.
I took one look at Ella's face and walked in. As soon as she saw me, her face lit up. I ran over and hugged her tight. Hey there, you slept for a really long time.
Yeah, well, I needed my beauty sleep. Why do you look so old and wrinkly?
Probably because I'm sad and sorry for everything. I messed up your life.
It wasn't entirely your fault. I was jumping around like a monkey in the back seat, remember? You couldn't even see the car behind us. I basically launched us into it. So I guess I'm sorry too.
Well, I'm sorry too, Nova. I shouldn't have snapped like that yesterday. I haven't always been the best brother because I've often let jealousy get in the way.
I wasn't exactly the best sister either. What I did with Maya and how I treated people around me was horrible.
Yeah, but you're changing. I saw what you did for Maya. That's growth.
I nodded slowly. I'd spent so long being angry about everything I wasn't. I forgot to appreciate what I had. My adorably flawed family. And all I really wanted to do was to go back and mend things now.
Namaste, fellow seeker. What brings you here today? Oh, it's you. Welcome back.
You recognize me?
Why do you always ask the same question? Of course I do. I can see through dimensions too. Like in one of my parallel lives, I was this really hot girl who lived on the streets doing odd jobs until one day this handsome rich guy asked me to be his date. He bought me clothes, took me to parties, and eventually fell in love with me.
Like Pretty Woman?
Yes, I was a very pretty woman. But enough about me. Tell me what you need.
I told her I wanted to reverse the curse, and Coco Lynn stared at me blankly.
Are you sure? Once I reverse the curse again, the spell will seal itself. No more rewinds. So make up your mind. You can't keep jumping between realities.
I already have. I want to go home. And this time I won't hide behind Dorian's shadow or bad grades. I spent so much time being angry and dejected that I never really focused on myself. And that's why I never got anywhere in life. I can't control how people treat me, but I can control how I take their opinions. So now I'll live for me, with kindness and purpose.
Spoken like someone who's truly ready.
She stood, cracked her knuckles, and started chanting. The candles flickered, the walls shimmered, and then everything went blank. I woke up to the smell of burnt toast and the sound of birds. I sat up slowly and looked around. My old room. My old posters, my old creaky fan spinning above me. I rushed to Ella's room and found her sleeping peacefully. Then I went downstairs and saw Dorian kicking the ball like a dork. I ran and tackled him in a giant hug. Oh my God, I missed you.
Get off me. You broke my streak. Now I have to start all over again.
Well, so do I. That morning, I got dressed and walked into school. And for the first time, people noticed. Not because I was a model or because I had 1 million followers, but because I held the door open. Because I helped a kid who dropped books. Because I smiled at people. For real. And that's when I realized that life isn't about being the favorite. It's about being someone you can be proud of, even when no one's clapping.